Hi, can Judy hear me?
I can hear you, I just can't see you.
I can't, yeah, this is Camille. I can see all your emails. You might want to close them. For some reason, not that I'm reading them, my screen is stuck and it says Tony, Judy, and Antoinette, Amy Spear. Do you know those people?
It's a,
I don't.
I think I just changed it.
Okay, so here's what I have now. Cochineal, a parasitic insect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's,
that's somebody else's screen.
no, that's Katie, the teacher.
Oh, it is?
Yes, this is the screen we're starting with.
Okay.
With the parasitic insect?
That's right.
Cool.
Um,
Okay.
I don't know why I'm not showing up. Okay, start video. There
There
it is.
you go. I see you. Now, I'm not sure why I don't come up, but it's not necessary. It's just that I have my camera here and that's all right. I'm going to mute myself now.
Okay, I did ask to start video for you. I don't know why I can't see. I don't know why, but hi David, hi Mount Miguel, hi Taria, iPad 2, I don't know who that is. So a couple things I learned yesterday. I did a Zoom session meeting and I learned a couple things that are really helpful. So the first thing I want to do is if you go under participants, I can see all of you and I can, I'm going to just mute everyone for now except for myself. But what you can do is if you can hear me and if you can see me, there is a thumbs up button that's in the chat, in the participants. So again, if you go up to the top here where it says manage participants, everyone has that. And then you can leave a yes if you see it. You can put a thumbs up. You can put a thumbs up or a yes, just to make sure that everyone can hear me and everyone can see. So I can see all of you. I think you can see all the people who are logged in on this screen too. Not sure if you can, but if you can't hear me or see me, you can go into the participants and you can wave your hand. I don't have it because I'm the host, but there's a little hand wave section. Or you can go into chat, which now I can't find. Okay, chat, and you can send me a little message here. So I'm gonna just type, hi everyone, and hopefully everyone gets that message, and then you can type back if you have a question along the way. So let's get started, like Judy said, with parasitic insects. So I wanted to start way back in time with okay, good. Hello. Way back in time, we're going to start with ancient textiles first, and we're going to go into what happens, how they make them, and then we're going to talk about modern textiles. So I chose to speak more today about Oaxacan textiles because that's specifically what I know, because I went to Oaxaca and I learned how to make the natural dyes and how to weave on a backstrap loom, and that's one of the most ancient textiles there is. So I'm really excited about textiles. And this is a very interesting thing that I learned in Oaxaca. So the first thing first when you make a textile is that you need wool or cotton and you need color. So the way they made the dyes about 2,500 years ago and probably even further back in time is that on these cactus, you can see that there are this white stuff, and this is basically like a cocoon that an insect would grow around them to become a flying insect. So if these insects would come and they lay their eggs on this cactus, and it has to be a specific temperature, a specific time of year, and then they will become flying bugs. And I don't know specifically which bug, well, it's the cochineal bug, but this is what they use to make the red dye. They take these bugs and they scrape them off of the cactus, and this is at a cochineal farm. It's called cochineal in English or cochinilla in Spanish, so sometimes I mix it up, so just forgive me if I say it wrong. So what happens is they take the little bugs off of there, they scrape the white stuff off, and they put it into little bowls, and they grind it up, and it makes this red powder that you see the farmer has in his hand right now. And then you simply boil it with water, and you put the fabric in, or the material, and you soak it, and it turns red. So this is a woman grinding the cochineal down. You can see she's got her cactus there, and she's picked the cochineal bugs off. You dry them out, and then you grind them up into a fine powder. This is several different natural dyes that have been used for thousands of years all over the world, not just in Mexico. Indigo is from India. This is the blue one. It's blue rocks here, but it's made, and this is it, the color being ground down. It is made from a plant, and they boil it and mix it for hours and hours and hours until it becomes these dry little rocks. The more you mix it, the bluer it gets. And then this one right here is pericone, which is a wild marigold. And back here we have the, I think those are, I don't know what those are, cocoa? Anyway, there's a few, I don't know them, but these are herbs and seeds that have been used for centuries to make different colors. But the three basic colors we need are red, which is the cochineal, it's made from bugs. We need blue, which is indigo, which is made from a plant that's then boiled and mixed for, I think it takes 2 days. And they take turns mixing it. So it's very expensive to make the indigo. It takes a lot of time, and it's very labor intensive. And then thirdly, they need the pericone, which is a wild marigold. And again, you just boil this up, and you put it in boiling water, and then you set your material in it and let it soak. And however long you let it soak is how yellow it'll become. So then you know that yellow, red, and blue, you can make any color with those. You make green, you can make orange. This is the indigo plant. These are the pods of indigo that they use to grind it down. And then they mix it, and see he's down here in the bottom right corner. He's mixing it in this bubbling water for days. You can't stop mixing until it becomes and then they let it dry out, and what's left are these blue stones. And today you can just buy the stones already made and then grind them up yourself and make your own dye, rather than having to go through the process of grow the plant and make the indigo. However, there's also a lot of synthetic dyes now that are safer, quicker, and easier. So this is a photograph that I took in Teotitlán del Valle, which is in Oaxaca, and it's the textile area that's been known for thousands of years, and they have been passing down their knowledge for generations and generations. So you can see however long you soak the material, this purple is made with cochineal, dipped in red, and then dipped in the indigo. This is dipped in indigo for a very short time, this light blue, and the oranges are made with the pericone and the cochineal to make orange. So you see you can make a variety of colors just from those three. And there is an example, and I think this is very interesting because they don't consider this right here fine art, but what we're gonna see, this is them just dyeing their wool and hanging it out to dry, but it's beautiful just as it is, and you can see where Sheila Hicks might have derived some of her influences from. This is one of the most ancient techniques of weaving, and this is a backstrap loom. You have it wrapped around your back. She has a strap around her back right here, and then the tension comes by tying it to a tree, but in this case we're inside, so we tied it to a pole or something in the house. And you sit on your knees and you use this to create the tension and the separation, and it's a really slow, long, and it's a really wild process. It took me a month to make one textile. And this one you can see right here, we've cut off that textile, but to build the loom, you don't need anything but sticks and string. So they developed this way of using a backstrap loom. Before they had looms, real big looms that came from Spain. So when Spain came, they brought in their techniques, which was using wool instead of cotton, and also using these bigger stand-up type of looms. So if you got to watch any of the videos on this, there's a few short videos that go through Oaxaca, and they show the techniques being used. And they're really, really interesting to watch them making these textiles. But so these bigger looms came along when the Spanish came along, and they changed up the textiles, but in a very positive way, because they were able to do much larger textiles. With this, you can only make a textile as wide as you are. So it isn't any wider than your waist. There's no way to make it bigger. A little bit bigger, but not much bigger than that. So to make a shirt like she's wearing, it's 2 pieces or 1 piece folded in half, but it's usually 2 pieces that are then sewn together. So all of these textiles that they make in Oaxaca and all over Mexico and Central America, and probably other countries too, it's just that I studied more in Oaxaca, all of these symbols have meaning. And these symbols, each puebla or little town has their own symbol for their town. So there's distinct symbols. It's like having a logo for your town, basically. And then these textiles tell the story of what is happening during that time. So not all of them are in perfect chronological order in storytelling, and I don't know all of the symbols, but I can tell you some of them. I know that this one right here is lightning, this one in the middle, and this is women, obviously. I don't know what this one is right here, and I can't remember what this one is either. But there's thousands of little symbols that they use to tell stories within their textiles. So textiles are something that were made to be worn, but they're also made as blankets, as curtains, as rugs, as clothing. So they're useful, but they're also beautiful, and it was a way for women back before, when it was backstrap weaving only, the women did all the weaving, and when the big looms came, the men started doing the weaving because it required a lot more strength and force to run the big looms. So things changed as far as weaving, but you could see how women were empowered by making these textiles, and they were able to tell stories and share narratives and work together in their community to make these textiles. This is called a huipil. Huipil is the traditional dress in Oaxaca. Again, we have the lightning here. This one is, oh no, actually, oh shoot, I forget. We have these ones up here are ribs. These ones are mountains. This one, I can't remember. I feel like this one's ribs too. I can't remember what this one is. And this one right here, this is from their town. So this is very specific to their region. And these are the traditional dress, which was a way to decorate yourself, to show your culture, to show off the story of your people, and just for beauty. And I think they are really incredibly beautiful and a really important part of Oaxaca's history, these specifically the huipiles. Here's just a couple more examples of some really old textiles from Oaxaca, and I don't know the meaning of all of these, but you can see how much pride and joy was taken into individually embroider. So this one's embroidery. Some of them are weaving, some of them are embroidered, and Oaxaca's known for their textiles in general. This down here is probably part of the town symbol. Then there's things that have to do with how things grew that year, what animals were there, things like that come into play. Corn growing, things like that. This one, it has, I don't know, birds, ribs, mountains, just different things within it. Oops, sorry. That you can see coming through. How important these textiles were to their culture is, it was part of the culture. They're completely intermingled. They don't really have culture without having textile. It's such a huge part of who they are. It's such a huge part of everything that they do. So even the dances, they're based with the textiles that they wear, the costumes, the bull riding, the dancing, everything has to do with the special costumes that are worn with specific textile design. Here's another one just for show. I don't know everything about all of these, but it's just a beautiful example of ancient old textiles. This one is really interesting because this huipil is a story that a woman made, and it has the symbolism of her whole life of the 40 years. So if you could read Spanish, it says, this huipil has, I've recorded my life over the last 40 years. And there's 6 flowers, which represent, 6 red flowers, which represent my grandparents, the hearts of my grandparents, of my mother and my father's 3 brothers who have died. It says that they're holding plants of corn. So you can see right here, there's people here, and they're holding little pieces of corn. I know you can't maybe see that close up. Then it says there's an angel on there. There are snails, caracoles. I think those are right here. Let's see. I lost my place. There's an angel that is for guarding them, and there's, okay, the snails are for my marriage. And she has 9 children, so there's 9 children on there too. The snails are for my marriage, because she was abandoned by her husband, and she says to put them just to think about him. There's a tree of life, and there's a tree of death, and there is that's talking about her destiny. She said she's gonna make another one, but so everything in this, there's her sons, her grandparents, her marriage, her what else? I can't read. I don't remember all of it, but anyway, you get the idea. These huipiles tell the stories of women's lives, and I think that's a really powerful aspect of this, that it gave women a pathway to describe what was happening to them and put even a little humor. There's a little humor in here that she made her husband into a snail. So I think that's kind of funny little aspect of it. But if you can, weave your story into your clothing, it makes it that much more powerful. All right, now we have this other woman, Sheila Hicks, who comes in, she's born and in the States, I think in Ohio, I can't remember, it's on the handout, and she ended up going to Yale for her bachelor's degree and her master's degree, and she worked under Joseph Alpers, and he helped her get a Fulbright scholarship, and then she went to Mexico, which is where she fell in love, or she went to Chile, excuse me. She went to Chile for her Fulbright, and she studied textiles there, and that is when she started seeing things like this. And she thought, well, that's art. It's beautiful, and why do we have to necessarily weave the yarn? Why can't we let it be art, fine art by itself? So she comes and she's visiting Latin America, and she sees these piles of textiles like this, and she decides to use yarn in a more modern way to create her textiles. And what she does is, in this case, she has a few different things that she does, but this is just pure wool that's been dyed and put into these big bags, and she makes these massive, massive sculptures by hand out of sometimes weaving, sometimes knotting, sometimes piling in different ways. So this is one of her pieces that I think is just really incredible. Now, if anybody is going to Paris anytime soon, she has a huge retrospective in the Pompidou. And that would be an amazing chance to get to see all of her work. She became very famous for this work, and she is collected all over the world. And I think it's because she reinvented textile in a new way that no one's ever done before. And I think these are just incredible. They're beautiful. They're based on the material. They're about the material, but she does it in a completely different way than people have been dealing with textiles for thousands and thousands of years. This is one image of her retrospective that is up at the Pompidou right now. So you can see she does different things. She's got these pillows, as she calls them, which are bundled up old clothing that she has a hard time throwing away. So she bundles them and makes them into these soul piece pillows, as she calls them. Then she has weavings. These are big weavings and little weavings over here to the left. So she does actually weave. And then she does these twisting rope things back here. And then she does the big poof ball things. So here's an example of one of her weavings. So she hasn't thrown weaving completely out the window. She did learn it. She studied it. She uses it. She hand dyes. She just does it on a massive scale. You can see this has taken up the whole room. So she's done things on a large scale, or she's used the material in a different way. Here's another one of her pieces. She also has a retrospective up at Sycamore Jenkins right now, which I got to see, and that's in New York. And that is a lot more of the wrapping technique. I don't know if I put I don't think I put pictures of that in here. But this is another example of her big pillows that she does. So I think that's it for this PowerPoint, yeah. And then, so I just wanted to pull this up. I added recently a few videos, hopefully. Oh, let me share my screen. New share, let's do my desktop. Okay, so, I don't know why everyone disappears when I do that. Let's see. Oh, here we go. This is what I want to share. Okay. So this is the, shoot. I hope you guys can everybody see this art appreciation screen? Just shake your head. Yes. Okay. So this is the handout. It just has a little reading on it. So I don't know if any of you do textile work at all. I did teach weaving in my arts and crafts class. I did do mini looms, so that's really fun. Crochet, knitting, embroidery, backstrap looming, that's what I do. But I have put these up here for you. Some of these images that I just showed on the PowerPoint are up there. And then there's a few very short videos on watching. So you can see this woman is actually working on the backstrap loom, and they're short. So if you have time to watch just a couple 2 or 3 minute videos after this, and you can sit here and watch some of these, they're really incredible to see how they do the dyes and how they make the weavings that they make here. And then this is a really great article just on art textiles from starting way back when until now, and how they've been reinvented by people like Sheila Hicks. And she's by no means the only person who does things like this. There's other artists named Orly Ginger. She does these massive outdoor textile installations. This is a really interesting interview with Sheila Hicks, and so is this one, although it's really quiet. This one is hard to hear, but if you can be in a quiet room and listen to it, it goes over a lot of her work at once. These are the photographs we already went over, and that's it. I'm going to unmute everyone so you can talk in and let me know how you feel about textiles and Sheila Hicks. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think that she has taken it too far? Do you think that it's...
You got me?
Okay, I can hear everyone now. So you can either type into the chat box, or you can... of myself. desktop. All right. Oh, there's just Camille.
You got us?
I can hear all of you, so if anyone wants to say anything, feel free to ask a question.
Hi, Katie. It's Marianne. I'm
Hi,
sending you a couple of pictures of a Peruvian textile that my daughter brought back recently.
Oh, good.
Okay, so it's on regular. I don't know how to send it to you then. This one.
Okay, great. I see Camille says she loves the colors. Yes, I would like to throw myself on one of those gorgeous pillows too. That's what Taria said.
Yeah.
They look like fun, right? It's like a giant kids playground. And I feel like I struggle with this a little bit myself because I want to honor the textile tradition and I want to honor my Mexican culture, but at the same time, I want to reinvent it and I want to make the work into something modern. So I find myself sort of, do I use only traditional materials? Is it okay to use new materials? Is it okay to grow with the times? Is it okay to do what Sheila did? Or is it better to keep things traditional? So there's a lot of controversy about it. I have a hard time deciding what's right or wrong. Another thing I said for your homework, if you want to, you can send me a picture of a textile that you have and maybe the story of it. Or you can try looking up a different culture's textiles and tell me something you've learned about that. Or if you're a weaver or a knitter, crochet, anything like that, you can send some pictures of that and I can post those on the website too. I've gotten some really great artwork that has been sent to me, so make sure and check back on the student work tab on the website in a couple days because I haven't uploaded them all yet, but I will put them up. So if you do give me your work, I always put it up because I want to, I would love to show your work and show the student work that is here. So it's over here on the website under student work. And then I post different artworks by all of you, which I haven't gotten very far yet. I mean, I have a lot to post. So I'll be doing that this week. Oh, look at that. Sheila's got her textile up.
Oh, that's fun. That's.
Can you get that up? There we go.
Hey, Katie, this is Dave.
Hi, Dave.
They have in Liberty Station, they have a gallery of textiles
Oh, wow.
in the same building that the Watercolor Society is in.
Oh, I did try to go in there once, but it was closed.
Oh, well, the first Friday of every month, you can go into it for free.
Oh, great.
Wonderful. They have in there.
What kind of textiles do they have?
Well, I don't know very much about textiles, but I do, well, gosh.
It's usually
It's
quilting.
not woven, it's
Quilt.
stone textiles. It's great pieces of cloth that have all kinds of designs in them and characters and colors, and you just have to see it. It's amazing.
That's great. Okay, so yeah, I collect textiles for a living, and I use them in my paintings a lot. So I'm a real textile-aholic, but I love to see textiles. So if you have any really unique textiles, or just your favorite textile, a blanket, a shirt, it could be a. If anyone needs to leave now, you're welcome to. But if you want to stay on and just chat for a minute about
Figure out how to send this.
more, you're welcome to. Well,
I'm not sure.
I don't know if you can share pictures, Marianne, without just holding it up like Camille did. Do you have an actual textile?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, but I don't know if it'll show. I could go to it. Would that help?
Show your textiles?
Oh, where is it?
It's right here on my table.
In your house? I almost wore my textile, my not a wheat peel, but it is a tejido from Oaxaca. But I've worn
Well,
it
you'll
all.
have to wear it next time.
I'll go. Hold on, I'll get it. I'll be right
Yeah, go get it.
Come on. Are you gonna show her?
Put it in front of the
Mary
screen.
Ann's pad here.
Got it. Let's change somebody else's showing something.
No, I don't want to do that either.
It's too far away.
Can you see it or no? No, it's not working. I don't know how
This
you.
one?
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. Katie. That's gorgeous.
Say,
It's made of wool, so it was
We-
too hot to wear today.
oh, she's showing.
This one's from Oaxaca, and it's in a bigger thread than normal. But this is the
Using it though, is it?
it's inside. This is the traditional Tahito.
Say, and I know Mika's got
Oh,
some.
that's beautiful.
If you look at the thread, every single little tiny bit of that is hand woven
Oh,
on
it's pretty.
the loom.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I actually have one I made, but I don't wear it
Say,
some other time. But I love textiles, so if you have
hard to like even get anybody's attention.
I should have had everyone wear their
You want
favorite
to bring stuff
textile.
up to show?
Does someone have one to show?
Yes, we've got a few things to show.
Okay, great. Where are we? I've got to get to Mount
I
Miguel.
can't get it.
They come. Here comes.
So this is your camera. You got to get nice and close to it.
Ooh, look, a whole pile of food.
The whole pile.
This
What have you
is,
got there?
this is called Egyptian braiding or
Oh, wow.
spraying.
Okay, so it's best.
And so it is an ancient technique.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
It is-
that's beautiful.
It is very stretchy,
Going
as
up.
you can see, and I think it is related to making the hammocks. So it is done on a frame, and you can work in open and closed, and you can work up. And it is all the same basic technique.
Oh, wow.
This is a purse, a bag.
Oh, that's
Okay,
gorgeous.
okay.
And it's made on a loom, or it's made by what?
Is this a loom or?
It is a frame,
Oh, frame.
and you
Yeah.
put the work in between, and you kind of braid the work.
Do you make those?
And then, yeah, and then the twist that you make goes to the top and to the bottom at the same time. So you have the,
Wow, that's fantastic. If you can send a picture of that, I'd love to put it on the website too.
Okay, we'll take some pictures.
all right.
And then we were talking about hold on, at our property right now, we actually have an exhibit too, a textile exhibit
Oh,
of
wow.
a resident who does, I'm going to try to show you a picture because they're up where we can't see them. Not sure you can see it very well or not, but they are quilts. They're wall hanging quilts that have our, with appliques and hand painted pieces and all kinds of things in our gallery here right now.
Okay, so Mount Miguel has a gallery.
So I will send you pictures of Mika's stuff, and
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
absolutely.
You're welcome.
Fantastic. Does anyone else have anything to show? Oh, I see. Who was that? Who is that? I can't see your name under David. Who is this? Oh, that's Christina. Hi, Christina. Christina's muted. Hi, Christina.
Hi.
What was that you were showing? Oh,
Tried that triangle thing.
oh, nice. Oh, that's from last week's golden section.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's beautiful. And Joanne said, are you familiar with Claudie Jongostra, who I'm not familiar with?
No.
But other artists that come to mind that make me think of sort of textile work is,
Well,
well, there's so many. There's, I'm trying to think of modern textile people. I think of Jean-Claude Christo, the couple who did all those giant orange pieces of material. In a way, that's using textile. I mean, it's using material to make the work. All right, well, I have gone my 30 minutes, so I'm gonna let everyone go. But thank you so much. Does anyone else have any last comments they want to say about textiles?
Yeah, thanks for inviting us to send you ours, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody else's when you
Yes,
post.
I would love to post those if people send me an email with a photograph of their.
I'm doing it right now.
Whether it can be yours or it can be something you bought. It doesn't to share our knowledge and beautiful things that we have in textiles.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you. Good class.